Thank you very much. Good morning. We're going to start the dynamics of the previous talks, which were inspirational but also technical. We're all women, we work in cybersecurity, and we would like to talk to you about our experience to see if we can encourage you to work in this industry. I'll introduce them, although they've already been more or less introduced by Soledad. Eduvigis was born in Santiago de los 30 Caballeros in Dominican Republic. She's been living in Spain for 20 years. Half of her family in law is in Seville. She had 3 children baptized in Triana, and her wedding was here in Italica. She loves the Andalusian character. She has an experience of 28 years in business consulting and IT systems. And before introducing them, I've asked them to tell me about some personal success that motivated them and that could motivate people to work in this industry. She loves challenges, overcoming challenges. And many people think that perhaps it's going to be complicated to make it here. She's passionate about cybersecurity, and without it, our lives would be completely different. She likes being an example for everyone who wants to work in cybersecurity and technology, to show you that you can do it. It doesn't matter how old you are or the sex you have. Thank you. I would like to thank Soledad. She was born in Antequera. She studied law. She worked in a law cabinet and then in a consulting company. One of her most important successes was when the legislation on data protection appeared. Well, her life changed. There was a time where she was considered someone weird. She's worked for the public administration. She has tried to translate what an IT system means so that it is understood. Now she works for SEIDOR. She's very happy there because she can work from home too. And thanks to technology, we're finding new ways of working. She defines herself as a multi-potential cyber woman. And here I have Ma. She was born in Ceuta and she lives in Málaga. She's in love with the city. She was all smiling today. She's a different person today. She's delighted to be here, and we are delighted to have her here. Six years of experience in the National Security Department, in charge of security. And she points out that her work is a passionate challenge, but it's quite a responsibility. She considered cybersecurity as a game of strategy, and some sort of escape room where we face different challenges, complicated challenges, but we need to escape however we can. Thank you very much. And Concepción Cordón. She was born in the province of Granada, and when she was 2, she moved to Málaga. She has almost 30 years of experience. I'm the oldest one here. She's achieved something which is really nice. She said that when she was a little girl, she wanted to be a doctor because she could save lives. And now she believes that by working in cybersecurity, she's also saving lives. I would like to thank you all for being here and sharing your professional and personal experiences. We wanted to read conclusions, messages to take home so that you become attracted to the world of cybersecurity. Right now, there's a significant demand of employment, jobs related to cybersecurity. So I would like you to comment on professional opportunities. How can you address this? Well, I'll start. First of all, I would like to thank INCIBE for inviting me to take part in this wonderful session in a wonderful city. I'm delighted to have you all here to listen to us. We were talking before and we said, okay, they're all so young because we're so old. They must be thinking, what can we tell them about cybersecurity? Well, I don't know whether all of you come from the technical side of this, engineers, mathematicians. I'm not familiar with your profiles, but cybersecurity is open to any profile. What do I mean by this? In my professional experience or my training experience, I have a degree in business administration and I'm managing a cybersecurity unit in national cybersecurity. So you need to learn, you need to keep on learning, you need to study, but it's open to any profile. And with regards to employment, you're aware that technology is moving forward very quickly. We have artificial intelligence, we have big data. We're all facing cyber attacks, the illegal use of technology, which means that at the other side we need cybersecurity professionals that face the challenges you've mentioned. It's cybersecurity escape room. And Monday and Tuesday was the World Economic Forum in Geneva, and they said that more than 3.5 million jobs in cybersecurity will be created in 3 years' time. So you have the opportunity before you. So it's 3 years in 3.5 million. But if technology advances, the demand would be higher. Here we don't have cybersecurity professionals. We need professionals. And it's up to you to respond to this demand. We're not receiving any sound at the booth. So there's quite of an echo here. I don't have much to say. When you hear that figure, 3.5 million jobs in 3 years, I don't think AI or robotics We're not receiving any sound in the booth.
Por llegar tarde.
Hola. Bueno, así estamos como bisbal, tranquilamente.
Well, this is like a singer. The technology positions that exist now have not the same future compared to cybersecurity, because cybersecurity is the basis of our digital life. Now we have IoT, domotics, everything is connected. If you don't have the foundations, the basic cybersecurity, our digital lives are not safe. Now we're living a digital life. We have our smartphones with us all the time. We do everything through apps. Everything we do in our daily life, working, entertainment, buying tickets, paying our purchases, we do this through our smartphones. And this should make us think that cybersecurity is embedded in any step we take every day. And very often, you see us here, but we're not old. We just started at a very early stage. Sometimes when we talk to young people, they tell us, well, cybersecurity, the image I have is, well, hackers in a basement with a hoodie, eating pizza. And we say, no, sometimes you need to realize that there are different profiles. Like Mar has explained before, I'm an industrial engineer. We have people working with us that come from the marketing world, criminology, lawyers. So cybersecurity is cross-cutting and diverse, and sometimes people consider it something related to freaks, something does not affect me, does not have an impact on me. But every time you access your computer, your phone, you need to think about cybersecurity. And you can't be satisfied by being self-taught. You need to train. Training is pivotal because there are many lines, many profiles for cybersecurity. There are hackers, of course, which are widely known. They're more mediatic. They have more impact in the media. There are cybersecurity incidents that make it to the news are related to hackers. That's what the media shows. But there are a lot of people behind that with the more technical work, marketing work, forensic work, identifying the profiles of cyber criminals, not just from the standpoint of fighting against criminals, but also protecting criminals. Every day when we connect, we need to take the basic measures, not just us working in cybersecurity. It has to be in society as a whole. It's education at home with our kids. They need to know how to use social media. Something as simple as covering your webcam on your computer is very useful. Simple things that make us safer in the digital lives we're living. Soledad? I would like to thank INCIBE for inviting me. I would like to thank Beatriz for introducing me. I would like to tell you that if you see that we are very familiar here on stage, it's true. We are women and we explain what's going on in the world of cybersecurity so that you can have the opportunities you deserve. Why am I saying this? I'm going to explain my personal experience. As Beatriz has said at the beginning, the data protection law changed my life. Back in 2001, Law 15/1999 had been already enacted. I was a lawyer in a law cabinet, a regular job as a lawyer. And I had the opportunity to attend a talk by one of the main main people related to cybersecurity, which is Dr. Carlos Gala. Back then, when I attended the conference, Dr. Gala spoke about a law, and as a lawyer, I was used to hearing about different pieces of legislation. But while I was listening to him about the data protection law, I had a feeling that it was not just any law. For me, it was the law, with capital letters. Because when the legislature enacts a law regarding leasing, it's addressed to a very particular population, people who have to do with leasings. If it's a law related to divorce. Well, this is addressed at people that are going to divorce. But this is not the case for data protection law. This piece of legislation is addressed to any of us, natural persons. It protects a basic right. That actually touched me. I had something there. And it was not until a few years later when I had the opportunity to focus on new technologies law. And I decided to take the leap. As a matter of fact, it was just studying a different law in a different area. I had the possibility of working as a consultant of new technologies law in order to apply data protection law. And there, I started to work with colleagues who had a technical profile, IT engineers, telecommunication engineer, who spoke a different language. I spoke the legal language. But we need to understand each other. Can you imagine how this was, a lawyer speaking the same language as an IT engineer? I was the weird person, some sort of translator between what the law said so that the IT people could understand it. As Beatriz has said, that was a while ago, and now I have a different responsibility. Now I work in cybersecurity. I'm in charge of business in cybersecurity of a Spanish company called SEIDOR. It has offices in more than 60 countries across the world, more than 30 offices at national level, more than 4,000 employees across the world, and in Spain we're close to 2,500 employees. Why am I saying this? Because if you're seeking a job, well, I'm offering jobs. That's the reality. The reality we have is that we need workforce, we need initiatives, capabilities, knowledge. We want you to come to our companies to demand a job. You have the potential in the near future. We need profiles right now. So if you access SEIDOR's web page, there's a tag which is Work With Us. You can include your CV both for job offers which have already been published, or you can leave your CV because sometimes we check for specific profiles and we're looking for people. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me, and I'm sure we'll have the opportunity to talk.
Because I'm the older in this round table, I can say that I have significant experience. So here there are very many digital natives, and as well as older people. So in terms of needs that we have at INCIBE, so it is very important to work with everyone, even with parents that are members of parents associations. I am a native, I'm cyber secure, and as I say, I learned what I've learned as I did it on the go. And as I say, I was about to become a doctor. I wanted to become a doctor, and I decided to go to the IT engineering school. So we were, I was the first promotion of IT engineers here in Málaga, and then, as I said, there is no entry exam. I've been in Málaga since I was 2 years old. I consider myself to come from Málaga, and I come from Málaga, so to speak. And when I graduated, I was very passionate for this topic. And my colleagues that had been studying a lot for the entry exam did not pass the exam. And then I said, as I said, we were the first promotion of IT engineers. And then I said, okay, I'm going to take this opportunity. I'm going to take this opportunity and to go in the IT world. So, as I say, it was very difficult for me to go into the IT world, security world, but once I discovered it and I could see the huge opportunities in it, I became passionate about it. So, because everything is related to cybersecurity or very many things, I'll give you a very real-life example. So, you've seen the debate about implants now. These days, well, there is a severe side to it, because some implants will fail because of their mechanics, or sometimes when implants fail, there is a cyber reason behind it, because they are connected. Nowadays, everything is connected. Everything that we use is connected. Anything which is connected has cyber security. There is cyber security behind it. So the first book on the dangers of the communication networks and privacy. So we tend to think that data privacy law is a new law. Back in the 60s or the 70s, lots of development and advancements have been made ever since the first time privacy in the networks was discussed. So everything is connected to the internet. Our refrigerator, anything which is refrigerator. And as I say, a mother can be a perfect stakeholder to be recruited as a cyber profile. We all have accountability. The moment we buy a smartphone, I want a smartphone and I wanted to have specific features, so there cyber comes in to play, and we are all cyber. At the end of the day, data protection law, the new GRPD, it's about data security, how we are going to build up protection. And then, well, the other panelist says that data protection law changed her life. And also, here we have to talk about critical infrastructures. So the different terrorist attacks, they also were a breakthrough in terms of laws and legislation about security. One of the definitions given out by United Nations of cybersecurity is, I like very much. They say, it's defined as security is the well-being state that individuals feel, perceive, and enjoy. So we, organizations and entities, all of us working in the field of cybersecurity, we need to deliver that trust, that perception of to citizens. It is the same as when you come out to the street, you need to feel safe. So we are all cybersecurity. Cybersecurity works at all levels, and any studies that we do nowadays have the cybersecurity side to them, or cybersecurity cross-sectional subjects. I would like to invite you to analyze and to reflect upon any topic that you may see around you, you may see in the news, and there is a cybersecurity side to everything. All right, so we've been talking about the different elements, and they all are pointing at the same thing. Well, we should talk about professional profiles and also skills and aptitudes that we all need to have, and that they are also very important in the world of cybersecurity. Yes, it's very interesting to talk about cybersecurity profiles. So here there is room for any type of profile. At the end of the day, all companies need to have experts to recruit resources. We also need experts in communication. Journalists nowadays have the opportunity to bring their knowledge and know-how in line with cybersecurity. For instance, when it comes to reporting security breaches or reporting any other type of incident. For instance, I'm talking about how news were posted when, or news are broadcast whenever Facebook or any other company suffers or is attacked. So this is nothing new. As I say, I'm talking about profiles in the communication world. But now let us think about other profiles that will also be needed. And I'm now giving the example of psychologists and linguists. Neurolinguists now are working in line with artificial intelligence. Psychologists, philosophers, linguists will be needed. At the end of the day, we have to bring ethics in line with development of robotics, so that at the end of the day, the robots that are manufactured are not equipped with artificial intelligence that go crazy. So we really need to have different profiles, different type of people working in this field. And now, when we are talking about profiles, I would like to refer to the need to have diverse profiles. We also wanted to talk about diversity in this roundtable. I'll give you an example. We at SEIDOR, we have some 4,000 employees all over the world. I could tell you that we have 2% of young people and 2% of senior employees. And the seniors are very senior. So we also have to work on that, so that to look into the profiles that we want to bring into our company. So we need to find a balance there. When I was reflecting upon this topic, I decided to talk that it would be a good idea of these type of soft skills, for instance, team working, and well, these are not very hard skills, technical skills, but they also allow us to to work in diverse teams and to carry out multidisciplinary work. We also talked about artificial intelligence. So we have also would like to open the floor to questions and answers. So please take that opportunity, think about your questions. And well, before we move on to questions, I'd like to say that cybersecurity is sexy as well as very cool. When someone says, "Oh, I work in cybersecurity," I say, "Oh, wow, are you a hacker?" No, I'm not a hacker. And as we said before, there are very many stereotypes that we have to do away with. So as Soledad says, knowing the attacker is very important. So therefore, the viewpoint of a psychologist to find out about who is the attacker, what personality he's got, that's a really good point. We also need economists to convince our boss that it is necessary to invest in cybersecurity. This is one of the most important roles in cybersecurity. It's not easy to convince those who are in charge of deciding on investments that cybersecurity investments is all the more necessary. And we have to open up this field. So the scenario is the cyberspace where we are all connected. I'm not talking about Spain, we are talking about Chinese, Americans, Russians being connected, and it is a game, as we said before, and I don't want to refer to it as a war game. And at the end of the day, we have taken this to reality, and we can see that in real life. And professional profiles have to be broad and diverse. Lawyers, people working in marketing to sell the cybersecurity product. They have to be economists, psychologists, doctors. We have talked here about replacements and impact. You can remotely control a pacemaker, and actually brand that we will not be naming here had their insulin pumps attacked. And the world is open to endless possibilities. And when you're talking about skills, it's very important to know how to translate technical language. How many of you have a technical profile? Who you are not technicians, who have not received that technical training? Well, you technicians should use a language that those of us who are not technicians can follow. I've been learning throughout my life what cybersecurity is about, but you technicians need to know how to explain to those who are not technicians what you do, what is necessary to invest in what you do, and why your time is of so much value. And now I would like to share 3 messages, takeaway messages. First, cybersecurity is diverse. Second, cybersecurity is responsibility of us all. And then, to work in cybersecurity, you need significant training, lots of training. It is very interesting, of course, to self-teach yourself and to have lots of curiosity, but on top of that you need training, you need education, and yes, you need to have the curiosity. Curiosity is it's crucial, and it is very easy nowadays to feel our curiosity because we have lots of information out there on the internet. But as I say, training also very, very important. So at a global level, we need all type of profiles, but we also need significant, specialization. I don't know whether you are being trained in IT security. How many of you are studying IT security? How many of you are doing development of Java websites? Have you been told about the secure functions for each language, programming language, that you know? Secure functions. Who is aware of secure functions? So a secure function edit prevents you by not being attacked by the vulnerabilities, or for not having an SQL injection, you should finish your string with an asterisk. Okay, have you been taught that? Have you learned that? Okay, as I say, lots of specialization. So in the future we will need specialists in development, specialists in forensics, specialists in hacking. So you need to have like an overall vision. But at the end of the day, people will be highly specialized. The philosopher, the psychologist, all these profiles will be needed in cybersecurity. With this I mean that cybersecurity is open to everyone. So also managing uncertainty. we don't know who will be facing up, okay? So therefore we have to be creative in terms of how to respond to the attackers. We also have to work on our creativity. Also lateral thinking, out-of-the-box thinking. Well, Mark, you are very good at explaining that. Lateral thinking, out-of-the-box thinking, we have to be creative. Well, lateral attacks, you are aware of that, of lateral attacks. Well, that should be counteracted by lateral thinking. Now we are talking about going out of the box. I don't know whether you were in the last Winter Olympic Games in China. An athlete who was from the US, and then she became Turkish to take part in the Olympic Games. Her name was Elizabeth Swain. Her story is a very interesting story because she was obsessed with taking part in the Olympic Games. But she had a problem. Winter Olympic Games, well, often, well, skiing is one of the sports. And she didn't know how to ski. And what did she do to fulfill her dream? Well, she started learning, and then she produced the plan and to see what she needed to end up in the Winter Olympic Games. And according to the regulations, one of the requirements was having taken part in other competitions for her to get a score. She was to get that score in those competitions where there were less than 30 women participating in it. And then she looked up for those competitions with less than 30 women in them. She used to join those competitions and then to get the scores or that she needed, or the points that she needed. And then she sum up all those that scoring, and then in the end she ended up being the person in Hungary with the highest number of points. And then she ended up in China in the Winter Olympic Games. You know what she did? Well, that is in YouTube. And in the end, she took part in the competition and she was bending. Okay, she could not stand on a pair of skis. And then, well, because that didn't say in the regulations, okay, she just ensured that she would take part in the competition. So what she did was thinking out of the box. This is the way we should think in cybersecurity, because the situations we end up facing are tremendously unexpected. When we are managing events, attackers do not let us know, oh look, I'm going to look for the back door, and because you've got a vulnerability. They don't know, they do not tell us about that. So therefore, this is the reality that we face. So therefore, hard skills such as know-how, knowledge, and English language. Careful, English is widely used in cybersecurity. Hard skills are perfect, welcome, that they are all the time needed. However, soft skills are tremendously important. To me, which is the most important soft skill? Communication. And why? Because in cybersecurity, when we are managing events, well, you do not only have to work with the members of your team, also with the management of your company, and also in coordination and in collaboration with other national or international teams. The third networks started off as to fulfill the need of managing incidents in the best possible manner. And as I say, communication, empathy, cooperation, they are essential soft skills. And then, of course, well, being sympathetic, working in teams. All right, so we would like to open the floor to questions. And well, before that, I'd like to mention the following topic. One of the things that you'd like you to take away is that security is not exclusive of, is not a world for of men. And for men, when I went to university, well, there were 10 women, and we were surrounded by very many women. Well, in the beginning, it seemed okay. Our colleague has told us that when she went to the IT school, there were 50% women and 50% men. Then later on, I went back to university, and then the percentage of women at those schools have been reduced dramatically. So, Pedro Sanchez Cordero has a wonderful presentation this afternoon. Cuckoo's Egg. I recommend you attend his presentation. It's very, very, very good. I've always been following ongoing training. So Pedro Sanchez Cordero is one of the best in the world. You will have the opportunity to check that by yourself this afternoon. He has also been a teacher in one of the latest master's courses that I followed. When I went to the IT school, 50% women, 50% men. And now you're teaching at the IT school. How many women? What is the percentage of women? Well, in my master's course, the master's course where I teach, there is only one woman. So I'm all the time learning. I've trained myself all my life. But as I say, I'm not seeing very many women recently getting trained in cybersecurity. So INCIBE has a forum on cybersecurity and gender. And Conchi, that's why we are making a significant effort from different women associations to promote participation of women in cybersecurity, so that women understand that this is a fascinating world, that there is a significant future ahead, and we, through technology, can build a better world. And actually here today at Málaga, there is an event known as Women Talent with 1,500 women from Spain. This is an event aimed at promoting the participation of women in the world of technology. There are very many women here, but please pass that information on to your friends, to your relatives, and to please pass on your passion about cybersecurity and technology to them. So cybersecurity by design, that's a fascinating topic. So all of us here are in love with cybersecurity. We would like to have more and more people, more and more women interested in working and contributing to the world of cybersecurity. Well, hopefully next year there will be not only 5 of us, but 30 of us. So, time for questions. We have 10 more minutes. Come on, don't be shy. All right, there is a question there. Hello. We are students from the systems cycle of vocational training on systems. So what will be the itinerary that we should follow? We are just ordinary students, so we are not wealthy. We cannot really afford a 5,000 euro training course. What is the itinerary that we should follow? Well, that's a wonderful question. It's a really, really good question, very opportune. So I really like to answer these type of questions. So here we have colleagues from community groups, which is a communist group, is a company here from Malaga. They have an education itinerary offering 204 training courses with 35 labs. So we know that theory is not the only thing that we need. We also need to practice, to put things in practice, to make sure that you are ready to face up to the attacks that you may be receiving. And now if you visit their websites, so you will get access to all the training courses that we offer. We are also working with San Pablo CEU and Polytechnic Alcalá University. We are offering our courses on ethical hacking and others. We do not only train people on red teaming and on the actual hacking work, but as I say, we are offering a technical itinerary to work in communications, in networks, as a basis as basic training to get further specialized. So you may discuss that with Antonio López. Antonio López is a company from Málaga, and we are very happy to work with them because we strongly believe in training and education. So regarding training, because I have self-taught myself, well, many occasions I had to pay for my training, other occasions I got my training paid, and well, there are very many training courses online. Our organization offers training. Well, those of you who work in systems, so systems, when we are talking about systems, okay, well, systems contain 50% security. I don't know whether you are being trained on security or not. OVAS offers lots of training, the same as INCIBE offers manuals, best practices, and it has a long list of master's courses. They are all different. They are all on cybersecurity. As I say, formal training, formal education is very interesting, but we should not forget about soft skills and then common sense. The common sense that you need to work in cybersecurity, we already have that. But then we have to apply it, know how to apply it. There is lots of training and, well, free training and out there, which we can take a very good advantage of. So we at INCIBE, we are strongly supporting talent. Cybercamp is one of the proofs of that. This is the 5th edition of our Cybercamp. The idea is to identify talent and to help you out from us, from a public company specialized in cybersecurity. We would like to help you find the education and training itinerary that you need. We also have an employment forum, also lifelong training, workshops, competitions, but it is very important awareness raising for all targets, younger people, older people, because at the end of the day, this is a global topic. Cybersecurity is not a trending topic anymore. It is a real need that affects us all. So actually we should give to cybersecurity the treatment it deserves. We should all be well aware of what happens with cybersecurity and the connected world where we live. And well, other than the education and training itinerary, so do not forget about becoming an analyst and researching and reading a lot. Okay, do not forget to read about what is happening in the world. Have that curiosity, fuel that curiosity, well, other than the interest that you may have in following formal training and education. By learning, you can learn. By reading, you can learn a lot. read and read and read and research, and also take advantage of the communities of developers. So do not limit yourself to formal education only. Go beyond that. Come out of the box. So all the progress that I made in this field is because anything that was new, I got trained on that. If no one wanted to get training on that, I always volunteered to be trained. Well, now, what do companies look for in terms of profiles? We companies have a need to fulfill vacancies, or well, either because we are growing our business or because we are offering more services. And what we do have is like internal itinerary, internal training itinerary for our staff, for our personnel. So the people that we hire are required to have basic knowledge, basic know-how, that is to say hard skills. And then once a person is in the company, we work with the person so that the person knows how to work in a team, and we work a lot in soft skills. So for instance, I follow training on teamwork, conflict management, and many of these soft skills that are very important in cybersecurity. Once we have hired personnel, and as I say, we produce that training itinerary. And how do we do that? Well, by specific training, or for instance, proposing to our staff to get international certifications, or diploma as needed. Any other questions in the room? Well, no more questions. So I'd like to say that for more advanced profiles, or even beginners profiles, we at our platforms, we offer the possibility to produce an itinerary based on an AES. This is what Department of Defense in US use. So you enter your skills, your ability, your knowledge, and based on all these questionnaires that you fill out, when you create a profile for yourself, then you can produce a training itinerary that best suits the cybersecurity profile where you are or where you want to be. So this is a very good way to start. So that this tells you where you are, and then you can project where you want to do. So then you decide whether you want to become a hacker, whether you want to be in a red team, you name it. All right, so I would like to finish. I would like to thank our 4 speakers. It's been a pleasure being with you, and also it's been wonderful to share this roundtable with you, people who are very passionate for what they do, people with lots of curiosity, highly creative people, and as I say, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, everyone.